Okay, we're going to another episode of On the Wrist from Off the Cuff. Today we have a really cool preview for you from the brand Formex. A little bit about them. Formex Swiss Watches was founded back in 1999. They are based in that Bienne, Switzerland area, and which is pretty much known as the cradle of Swiss watchmaking. So if you're going to be making watches in an area of Switzerland, that's probably the one to do it. That area also lies on the language boundary between French-speaking and German-speaking parts of Switzerland. So it is bilingual throughout, which kind of ties in to the brand Formex itself, which is translated as Form Extreme, French for extreme shape. Now, this thing, of course, if I was to characterize it as a type of watch, I'd say it's a dive watch. Some key common characteristics in this language, you're looking for a dive watch. You're going to want something that's water resistant, typically some type of screw down crown. You're going to want something that's tough, legible, with a dive time bezel, and a diver's extension is always nice if on bracelet. This is their new Reef automatic chronometer with a blue on blue configuration, guys, and I am really taken by this one. This is pretty much Formex's particular take on a purpose-built diver's watch, debuting their latest brand design language, as you can see from their new logo change. And yeah, one of the nice key features you're going to find here is they have these really interesting toolless strap and bracelet quick change, quick adjust systems, and this thing is really, really nice. It's not super cheap by any means, but man, I think it absolutely is worth the price of admission. You can get this for $17.90 on bracelet with taxes, duties, and shipping included. So with all that said, let's go ahead, zoom the camera out, get this piece in hand, and take a closer look. Alrighty, so you have a 42 millimeter diameter, 11.4 millimeter thickness, 47 millimeters lug to lug. Of course, this is made out of full 316L stainless steel. It is brushed and polished. It has a nice flat sapphire crystal with inner AR coating. We do have a 60-click unidirectional rotating bezel with a zirconium oxide ceramic insert with a Lume 12 o'clock pip. Very nice. Let's get the action. Ooh, okay. Touch of back play, but it's a 60 clicker. Gotta say, even with the gloves on, that just digging it. There's a little bit of play, but you can kind of rock everything back into alignment on that kind of, basically there's play forward but not backwards, so it does lock into place. So that is very, very nice. We do have a signed screw down crown also with the updated logo. Very cool. And another look at that updated logo here. Quite handsome. All right, so although you cannot see the movement inside, it's actually using a Sellita SW300-1 chronometer grade COSC certified movement, which means it's going to be regulated with pretty much into the -4 +6 seconds a day range. It has a custom built skeleton rotor with thermally blued screws, a 42-hour power reserve, and all of that is hidden behind this actually really tidy solid case back. Now on the dial, we do have this very, very nice Degrade sunray dial. We do also have applied indices. We have the brush handset with polished accents. We also do have that nice date complication at 6 o'clock with a color matched disc. Very, very clean and keen, which I can definitely appreciate. As far as Super Luminova goes, we do have BGW9 and water resistance up to 30 bar, 300 meters or 1,000 feet. Now, when it comes to this bracelet, you do have 22 millimeter basically lugs tapering down to the clasp at about 20 millimeters, and you're going to have that brushed and high polished bevel combination on this bracelet, which is gorgeous. Look at that. Very, very articulated. Of course, screw pin connectors, which is great. And then that's going to go down essentially, and you do have these really nice handy quick release systems here, where basically you just kind of push on the tab and you'll be good to go. Another nice feature is you do have also similar kind of toolless tab system there in terms of setting the micro adjusts. So you can basically push the button down, pull it out, then click it back in all the way, or maybe just a little bit out, up to you. But very, very nice from that standpoint. Obviously fully milled, signed, nice chamfer there, all of this milled and nicely brushed. And then of course this is just a glorious bracelet in general. So I think we might have covered all of it so far. So with all that said, let's go ahead, get this piece on wrist and see how it wears. All right, as you can see on my 7¼ inch wrist, this thing wears really well. Obviously not a super petite vintage inspired watch. This is a modern dive watch, but it's by no means oversized. I think obviously it does have kind of a chunkier design aesthetic, but it plays really well. As you can see, the blues just hit and pop and really just blend and tie this whole thing together. I'm loving this in terms of just as a diver tool watch, everyday watch. This for me has so much to offer, and a lot of it does have to do, of course, with its capability and build quality, but the general aesthetic is absolutely just super balanced and ready to be kind of worn in a myriad of different ways and situations. It just has that ultra versatile, sleek appeal to it, which I can definitely appreciate. You can see here up close, it does lay very nicely on the wrist, wraps nicely. It doesn't sit up off of the wrist too much at all there. Really beautiful, and really enjoying this one, and that dial is absolutely immaculate. So with that, we'll go ahead, take this piece off, go ahead and set up for some Lume shots, low light transition, and closing thoughts. All right, we'll go ahead and hit the lights here. As you can see, just like you'd expect from a dive watch, really beautifully applied BGW9 Lume. Very nice, cool blue tone to it. But one thing I like to also work in during these Lume shots is get some low light transition going, because you're not always going to be out in the middle of a field enjoying direct sunlight. A lot of times you're going to find yourself, walking in and out of a building, maybe passing underneath an overhang, or just, maybe walking underneath a tree or spending time in your favorite automobile. And as you can see, even in kind of that half transition lighting, still remains very, very legible. Even here, a little bit, kind of in between in terms of lighting. Also, you can see the way that dial plays. Absolutely gorgeous. That sun ray with fume style slash degradé. And then I can get even down with some really, really high contrast lighting, which typically will expose any of those little nicks and imperfections that have been kind of established along the way. But as you can see, it looks gorgeous. Great light flow over those links. Nice and uniform. That brushing is absolutely top notch. So very beautiful from that standpoint. Now, closing thoughts, guys. On the wrist, it wears like a diver should. It is bold and substantial. It definitely has kind of a Nautilus meets Aquis aesthetic, and that's not a bad thing. In terms of model variants, you can get this in black, silver, and green variations available with kind of a mix and matchable bezel insert to dial kind of configuration, which I think is really nice. As far as comparable models go, honestly, this kind of bests the mainstream mainstays like the Oris Aquis. Of course, I'm meaning the non-in-house models, while really matching those luxury micro brand leaders like the Manta Ocean King. So this thing, in terms of quality, is absolutely there. Now, in terms of aesthetic, it might not be for everybody, but it is damn sure for me. I think this thing looks killer. I'm looking forward to kind of getting this one in hand from a production level, and hopefully adding it to my own personal collection. Really gorgeous. I'm also excited about the 39mm Essence, which will be released, I believe, tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that as well. You know, guys, bottom line on here, you're getting a truly luxury modern diver that doesn't rely on vintage trends while adding nearly every feature you can ask for. So, I mean, this thing has it all, and even some things that are nice to have but you don't really need, they pretty much have thrown it all in there. And at under $2,000, this is an absolute steal. So again, with that said, if you like the video, please do it like, and if you haven't already, please hit subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks, guys.